What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fit Women's Weekly podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Kendall. I've been a personal trainer for over 16 years now. I cannot freaking believe it. And during that time, I've owned my own physical fitness studio in Charleston, where I have focused my training on women, for women, helping them to build confidence and to build strength. And I also run an online business, you guys guessed it, called Fit Women's Weekly. Specifically, Fit Women's Weekly Live is my online training studio where I go live every single day. But in this podcast, I try to share with you guys my passion and my knowledge for fitness, for nutrition, and for mindset, and also share my own personal experiences and my own life. This is my diary chit chat with you guys as if we were having coffee at a coffee shop and just sharing about what's going on. So in today's episode, I'm gonna share with you guys a story and a little learning experience that I think can help people as we go into the new year from last week when my husband Dan had his work party, his holiday work party, and I was chit-chatting with one of the ladies that he works with. And I don't know, the conversation that we had, I just kind of went, you know what, this isn't something that I don't think I've ever talked about on the podcast before, but it's something that I probably should talk about. So we're gonna talk specifically about how to get started at a new gym, or just how to get started at any gym if you haven't been and you're kind of thinking about going back to an actual physical place to work out versus working out at your home. How do you build that confidence? How do you get into that? But I'll share more on that in just a second. Before we get started, I gotta fill you in on a couple of things. First off, strong start, you guys. It is kicking off on January 8th. This is my annual, I've been doing it for I think 15 years now, my annual 8-week transformation program / strength program that I do every single year at the start of the year. It goes from 8 weeks starting January 8th. You have a training plan that every day you can check it and see what are my things that I need to do today. Might be a workout, which you're gonna have access to Fit Women's Weekly Live for unlimited during that time. It might be a little fit quickie, like knock out 30 push-ups, little things that can add up over time. You're gonna have nutritional support. I'm gonna give you nutrition challenges where, again, small tweaks, they can make big changes in the long run. And you'll also get access to my cookbook, the Plan Smart Eat Real cookbook, which has over 100 recipes in it. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, desserts, everything's laid out so that you can get an idea of how to prepare your meals, very simple ways for meal prep, as well as just changing things up, because aren't you tired of eating kind of the same things all the time? So these are simple meals. Most of them are 30 minutes and less, which is faster than if you were to call and order something, right? Uber Eats. And it's actually like tailored in with nutritional tracking information, macros, and I give tips for tweaking the macros. So if like something you're trying to watch your carb intake, or maybe you've already eaten a lot of your carbs, so your dinner needs to have less carbs, how can you do that? I have macro tips along the way. And as a treat for just the next 2 weeks, if you sign up for the Strong Start, you'll get access to that cookbook, because everybody comes to me and it's like, I want to do the challenge, but I really want to focus on nutrition. So I'm going to make sure you're going to get the strength workouts with Fit Women's Weekly Live, but you're also going to get the nutrition, because both things come together. And you're also going to have me not only as your personal trainer, but as your workout partner. I'm going to do every workout. I'm going to go through every rep. I'm going to challenge myself the way that I want you to challenge yourself. We're going to go through it together. And if you ever have questions, if you need help with your form, that's what I'm here for. I am going to analyze. You can post up your videos and I'll give you a breakdown of your form and let you know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So if you're interested in this, I only am accepting the ladies that are like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get through the entire 8-week program. So it is an application process. Very, very simple application, and it's linked down below in the show notes. So you can go fill out the application, and then I will personally email you and say, yeah, based on these answers, I think this is a great fit for you. Or, you know what, maybe not such a great fit. Maybe you might wanna try this instead. But regardless, you want to go find out more information, go click the link. It'll have all the information laid out. And then if you're still interested, fill out that application and I'll help you get all set up. But you have to do it before the end of the year, you guys. So time is ticking. Go knock it out. And then the other thing that I want to quickly chit chat about before we just jump right into getting started in a new fitness area, we'll just say that, is our workout of the day. I tell you guys all the time, I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring back workout of the day. For the OG listeners, for probably a year or two, every workout or every podcast that I would do would either start or end with a workout challenge. And I get really good at bringing it back, and then I kind of forget because I get so excited about the topics at hand that I want to discuss with you guys. But since the rest of this year will be episodes of just you and me, not so much interview stuff, that'll be coming back in January, I figured we can at least end the year remembering to do a workout of the day. And which is perfect because today when this podcast comes out, which is Wednesday the 13th, we'll kickstart my 12 Days of Christmas. It's an annual social media thing that I do every year where each day I give you guys little mini workouts or a holiday recipe to help keep you on track, to keep you motivated. And you know, during this time of year, it can be so hard to stay consistent, right? Life is busy. And so it's just a reminder that a little bit is better than nothing at all. So these little challenges that I give out during the 12 days, they're intense, but they take generally 30 minutes and less so that you can at least get it done. If you don't have 30 minutes, you can say, hey, I don't have 30 minutes, but I have 15 minutes. I'm gonna put the timer on and see what I'm able to accomplish. So today's day one of 12 Days of Christmas, or should we say 12 Days of Fitness, and it is to knock out 100 double dumbbell squat thrusters. Squat thruster just meaning you are going to hold your kettlebells or dumbbells in a rack position, go into a nice deep squat, and then as you come up and out of that squat, you're gonna use your legs to drive that weight up to the sky for a full overhead press at the top. Then you're gonna come right back down and then repeat that. So it's 100 thrusters for time. However, anytime you have to stop and put your weights down to shake things out, which obviously you're going to have to do, you gotta stop, knock out 10 alternating bend over rows and 10 lemon squeezes. So I never like to share my weights as a way of saying like, this is the weight I'm using, so this is the weight you should use. You should use whatever weight you're capable of pushing with good form, but also challenges you and what you have available to you. So for me personally, I do this challenge with double 35s for my thrusters, and then for the alternating rows, I'm gonna be using a 50-pound dumbbell. But you do you. I just like to give that number to show like I'm not going super light on this. I'm gonna try to do it. This will be my third time doing it. I'm actually gonna be doing it today, the day that I'm recording this. And I try to do it so I can knock out sets of 10 to 15 for my thrusters at a time. So if you do this, let me know. And if you wanna see what the rest of the 12 Days of Christmas holds, make sure to follow me, Kendall Boyle Fitness, over on Instagram, because I will be putting out, like I said, either a new fitness challenge. Some might be only 5 minutes, some 10 minutes, some longer, like this one. I think the last time I did this workout, I did it in 26 minutes, but I think the last time we did this, it was with burpees. So obviously that takes a little bit faster than lemon squeezes. So my goal today, when I do it, is to knock it out in under, I would say 22 minutes. So wish me luck on that one. And then, so yeah, every day I'll have either a new fitness challenge or a new recipe. For example, one of the recipes is gonna be a eggnog protein shake, which I'm pretty stoked about to be able to share that with you guys. So don't miss out on the fun. Go follow Kendall Boyle Fitness. All right, let's get into what happened last week and what's the lesson that we can kind of learn from that. So I was talking to a lady that Dan works with who is a very, very petite woman. And by petite woman, I have never seen, she's a beautiful woman, but Dan had warned me like, oh yeah, I work with this lady. She's very, very nice, but she's very small. And when a guy says that, especially Dan who's 6'1", I just imagine like a smaller woman, but nothing abnormal, right? But when I walked up to her, she's maybe 4'9", 4'10", to the point that she made me feel as if I was 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'5". I'm just quote unquote average. And so we were getting to talking, and her height does have a purpose in this story. We were chit-chatting, and she was like, oh, so you're really into fitness. Dan says that you do a podcast and that you own a fitness business. And I was like, yeah, I've been a personal trainer, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, yeah, you know, I really should be getting more into my workouts, but I just don't feel comfortable working out with especially men around me. And I was like, oh, really? Why is that? And she's like, well, just because I'm so small, I feel like people look at me funny and I just don't have confidence when going to the gym. And I don't want them to judge me or feel like I have some kind of issue because I'm such a tiny person. And she said, I actually even used to drive 30 minutes to an all-women's gym just because I felt more comfortable there, but unfortunately they closed down and I'm not able to do that anymore. And so it just kind of got me to thinking of like, okay, she has, because she's such a petite person, that's her insecurity, but we all have insecurities. And when we're going into a new space, especially because the new year's coming up, maybe you're looking to join a new gym, a different training experience, Fit Women's Weekly, but those things can hold us back, right? And so my tip to her and my tip to anybody that's getting started in that situation is a couple of different things. First, the fear that we have in our head for anything is 99% of the time worse than what the actual event is, right? We work up all these crazy scenarios in our head of like, what if this, what if this, what if I look stupid? What if people look at me? What if I mess up? All these things. The fear holds us back. Fear is simply not real. Fear is just something that we put on ourselves, right? And so just taking a big deep breath and pushing through that fear and getting that first experience out of the way, and you're able to go, oh, that wasn't so bad, right? So my first tip is, you just gotta suck it up. There's no secret way of getting over it. You just have to do it even though you are fearful. And then once you do it, you go, oh, okay, that wasn't near as bad as I thought. And for me personally, one way that I get through fear, especially in social situations where I have those fears of self-consciousness, self-doubt, self-consciousness, you know what I mean, is I remind myself I am not as important as I think that I am. And now I know that that sounds bad, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I simply mean when I'm going into the gym, I'm not held up on a pedestal. People aren't stopping their workouts to focus on me. But yet that's what we all think, right? We all think we walk into a room and everybody stops to take notice. Everybody else is just living through their life. And so when you start to realize you're not as important as you think, trust me, you're important. I just mean in this kind of situation, it makes things a lot easier to deal with, especially when you're going into new circumstances. And it took me a long time. I think that that's kind of just a growth mentality as we get older. So 1, face your fear and do it anyway. 2, realize you're just not as important as you think you are. So you're living your life, everybody else is trying to live their life. Number 3, go in with a plan. If you're brand new to someplace, mostly like a free gym, obviously if you're going to a fitness studio where they're gonna have the workout designed for you, if you're going into like just a normal quote unquote gym, have a plan already laid out so that you're able to walk in and get done what you need to do, where instead of walking around kind of like a lost puppy, where that's where we start to grow insecure, right? So have your plan and go get it done. If you're at a new gym, ask for a quick tour. Go in and just say, hey, I'm new here. There's nothing wrong with being new. Every single person that is in there has had a newbie experience. They've all been new at some time or another. So ask the front desk for a quick little tour so that once you have that tour, you have your plan in hand, you're able to execute it a lot better versus having your plan, but then going, wait, where are the dumbbells? Where is the barbell that I need? Whatever. But if even that's a little bit too intimidating for you, day 1, just go in. Go in and walk on the treadmill. Now I know that especially trainers, we kind of say, stop just going in and becoming a cardio rat, right? Don't go to the gym just to walk on the treadmill. But if that's step 1 of helping you to feel more confident and just getting there, then absolutely do that. For example, I have a friend who is a client of mine who I love dearly, and he has decided to become a personal trainer. He is still a professional. He's still working his 9 to 5, and he's kind of figuring out like, I want to navigate this just to get started. And so we had a chit chat the other day where I was just trying to help him out with this. And we were talking about social media, and he was saying that he doesn't really like posting on his Facebook because it doesn't get a lot of likes when he posts things like his workouts. And I was like, well, yeah, of course Facebook isn't beneficial because those are people that follow you. It's a more, I would say, intimate following, right? They're people that you've gone to high school with, they're college friends, they're your parents' friends, whatever the case may be. They're people that follow you for you, not because of what you do. They're not there to follow you because of your fitness. If you want to do that, you need to switch over to a platform where your information can get out to people to be able to find you. And that needs to be something like Instagram or TikTok. And he was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And he has an Instagram account, but he has never posted. And he's so nervous about posting, right? Because I don't know, I think that people are so afraid to put themselves out there for being judged. And I'm like, dude, you got no followings, except for me, because I started following him so I could help hold him accountable. Your first step is to just post. I don't care if you post a video of yourself waving to the camera. I don't care if you post a photo of yourself doing a squat. Just put something up. And that just goes back to these, all the same rules in every aspect of life apply to going to the gym for the first time. Do the bare minimum. Show up, walk on a treadmill if that's more comforting to you. At least then you can kind of like start taking in the surroundings. You can start kind of getting an idea of who the regulars are and just going there. And then as you go back each day, you're gonna build more confidence to get off of that treadmill and try different things. I remember that's where I started. I started on the treadmill, and then I would start to work over onto some of the machines. And then as I started to become a quote unquote regular and people got more comfortable with me being there, then I gained the confidence to go into the free weight area. So my next tip would be, after the treadmill, is to start around playing on those free weight machines. Again, I know that free weight machines often get poo-pooed on. They're isolated, they're not big compound movements, you're not gonna work your stability muscles as much as you are your bigger muscles. So it's not where I would recommend you staying, but again, if it gets you comfortable in that space, then do that for a week or two. Remember, you're focusing on the long run here when it comes to your fitness, especially like at a new place. And so you don't need to walk in and automatically start trying to crush your body with your free weights, trying to do a progressive overload program. Take a week or two to get used to the surroundings. So take a couple of days on the treadmill, take a couple of days just playing around on the free weight machines, just getting comfortable moving from one piece of equipment, just being there, and then find your space in that free weight machine. The other thing that I would recommend is wearing headphones. These are my security blankets. I don't know if that's just me, but I will wear like my AirPods, or like these I wear at home when I'm working, even if I'm not listening to anything, but it helps me to tune everything else around me and focus on the work at hand. And so even when I'm at the gym, I'll put headphones on so that I'm not disrupting or disrupted by the people around me. I'm able to just zone in, do what I need to do. And it's also just a really good way of reminding people that you're not listening to them. You don't really care to chit chat. You're just there to get your stuff done and get out. Dan always gives me a hard time because he'll play music in the background. This actually happened last night. I had my earphones on and I was getting some work done, and he was playing some of my favorite Christmas music, but with different variations, like different artists and stuff. And he was like, oh, did you like that variation? And I was like, wait, what? Because I didn't hear you. I wasn't listening. He's like, what are you listening to? I said, nothing. I'm just really good at the headphones go in and I zero in on what it is that I'm getting done. And then the very final thing, well, actually there's two more things. Act confident, no one will question you. That's I remind myself that every single time, whether I'm writing an email to somebody that I'm a little bit nervous of, if I'm trying to reach out to people to do a partnership, which I've been trying to do for more social media, like collabs. I just have to remind myself, act confident and no one will question you. The worst case for me is someone will say no. And that's what I tell myself. Worst thing that'll happen is I'll either get zero response or a no. It's not gonna change their day. They're not gonna think different of me, but you gotta go for it. And then the very last tip is don't do anything purposely silly. And I mean that by, if you are nervous and you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb, don't do things that are going to make you stick out like a sore thumb. Don't immediately start filming yourself in front of a camera, in front of the mirror, in front of equipment. Get yourself a little bit more comfortable from just being there, and then you'll get to a spot where you just don't care. Like, I don't care where I'm filming. I'll pull my camera out anywhere. But that happened naturally and organically. I didn't just start from the get-go. Don't use your phone while you're sitting on equipment that other people are probably waiting for, right? Because those are things that make people judge you. So if you're sitting on the I don't know, the adductor or the abductor machine and you're playing on your phone, but it's a busy time and people are waiting for that, maybe don't play on your phone. Let's see. And the other piece of advice is when it comes to your free weights, don't use weights that are way too light or way too heavy. If you are sitting there just flinging weights around, then yeah, people are gonna notice that. If you're using weights that are way too heavy and you are sacrificing your form and it looks like your back is about to break, people are gonna notice that. So SMART training, which also comes from a SMART program, will help you build confidence in the studio as well. So these are the things that I was talking to Roma about, and I hope that they helped her because she has a gym membership, she just doesn't go. So take that big deep breath and get it done. I think that most of you guys have this confidence already, so I don't know if this will necessarily benefit you, but maybe you have a friend that you can then share this podcast episode with, or you can relay this information to them, or maybe you're working out at home right now and you are getting ready to go to a fitness studio and you're a little bit nervous. Hopefully these things will help too. So there you go. That's what I got going for you today. And then I think on Friday, I'm gonna talk about New Year's goals. I do a breakdown of New Year goals every year of how to set goals, why they're good, why they're not good, how can you set up goals for yourself that are actually attainable and continue to go after them and not give up after a week, which of course part of that would be signing up for the Strong Start. Having an actual plan set in motion is the most important thing, you guys. Just simply saying, I want to lean out or I want to get stronger, that's not good enough. You gotta be specific. You gotta say, this is what I wanna accomplish, but then you have to get a plan in action as well, saying, and this is how it's going to happen. And then you simply start working down that step of progressions to get closer and closer to your goal. So if you have the goal to fuel yourself better, to feel better, to be more energized, to be able to have your body react better from your fitness, whether that is to get stronger, to get toner, to actually build a little bit of muscle mass, or to change your body composition with burning more body fat, then you might want to look into the Strong Start. 8-week program to help get the body moving in a more uncomfortable way, because yes, it does take getting outside of your comfort zone to see results. So if you've been doing the same training cycle day in and day out without much progression, it's kind of the same workout, or maybe you're just grabbing random workouts when you see them, then it's time for something a little bit more focused and something that is actually going to make you go, wow, that was hard. I have not done anything like that in a long time. It's gonna shock your body. It's gonna take that shock so that your body goes, whoa, what is this? I gotta react to this. I gotta prepare myself. So if I have to do this again, I'll be ready for it. And that's where you get the results. So hopefully you join me. I will talk more about the Strong Start in future episodes. So if you have specific questions about it, let me know. Or again, go click on the link down below, find out about it, fill out the application, and we can chit chat. You're not gonna get spammed. I'm not even adding you to an email list. It will just be a personal email from between me and you. Sound good? All right, guys, that's what I got today. I'm going to go film a lot of these, hopefully be able to knock out a lot of them, 12 Days of Christmas workouts for you. So make sure also to go check out Kendall Boyle Fitness over on Instagram. If you have not already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review if the platform that you listen on allows for it. And if you found this episode helpful, or you think that other people in your life will find it helpful, please share it and make sure to tag me so I know about it. I love to hear from you guys, so let me know your thoughts and if you have questions for future episodes. Ooh, and I just lost the mic. All right, you guys, go have yourself a wonderful day. Go have yourself a beautiful day, because you are beautiful. Bye, y'all.